do that, but yet he does it. And every time he relieves the student debt, the cost of college goes up.
Yeah.
Do you know the cost of college has risen more than anything in the world in the last 20 years?
Peter, explain
It's because of governments. Listen, if the government backed all the car loans, we'd all drive Cadillacs.
Yeah, Eric,
that's my theory.
Explain to me, because I want to go back to something before we continue with the Supreme Court. All of the tents, all of these students went out and bought tents this week all over the country?
No, what they did was they received their package, which is the standard issue for the Council of American Islamic Relations.
CARE.
Okay, CARE.
Yeah.
By the way, the founder of CARE, okay, he's a real gem. Okay, he was on the
That's a
board.
diamond term. I understand that
There
term.
you
Go
go.
ahead.
You two are a gem, Barry, my friend.
you.
Okay, they basically really started this in 1987. Went through Berkeley College. Okay, that's why all this is happening from Berkeley, where BLM and systemic racism and critical race theory was brought on by another gem, Kimberly Crenshaw. Then you had Judith Butler, a Jew, an anti-Israel Jew. She spearheaded the LGBTQIA plus movement. And then you had Nahad Ahmad. He's the gem. 1994, the Muslim Brotherhood. He founded the Council of American Islamic Relations. And that's where we are now. And he was on the board of anti-Semitism on the White House.
Yeah.
How's that possible?
Well, you know something.
Ask Joe Biden.
You know something, Peter? Listen, I'm a Jew. It starts with Jews, but this could transform into blacks. It could be gays, transgenders. I don't really think this country has a concept of what's really happening. We see this on top of the creek. It's rippled on top. What's really
I totally
happening
agree with you
underneath?
100%. You look at any tyrannical or autocratic government throughout history, the Jews come first, but it doesn't stop there.
No.
That's the canary in the coal mine.
Yep.
It will get around to everybody. And you know, you see these cases now. I'm saying post-constitutional. Just last week, we had 3 things that happened. The first time in American history, in the history of our country, 3 last week. We had a president put in criminal court. That's never happened in the history of our country.
No.
We had the first time in American history, the Senate refused to hold a hearing after the House impeached a cabinet member.
I can't
They
believe
just
that, Peter.
tabled it.
Yeah.
That's post-constitutional.
Yeah.
That's never happened
Well,
in the
Ted,
history of our
PhD.
country. And number 3,
Hi, who's this?
we had the first administration
what's
to
your name?
sanction, actually put sanctions
Nancy, where you calling
on
from?
an IDF fighting
what do you wanna
unit
say?
in Gaza. A group of Orthodox Jewish soldiers in the IDF were sanctioned by the Blinken administration last week.
Yeah.
That's never happened that we've ever done 3 things. That's amazing.
Go
3
ahead, Eric.
things.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
stand
Anthony
by.
Blinken, did you know that his parents gave so much money to the Soros Foundation that they changed the name of that part of the Soros Foundation to the Blinken Foundation?
Wow.
That's coming from the top. How about Merrick Garland? His son-in-law owns Panorama, the biggest surveying education company that teaches CRT to all educators. It's coming from the top down, and that's why it feels so heavy on all of us.
Scary to me.
You go back to what's going on in the Supreme Court. Why
you. Go ahead.
are they after Trump so bad? It's because they are really coming after me and you and everyone else listening, Americans, and he is in their way. And if we don't stand up, early vote, get your mail-in ballots delivered to your house, so there's no excuse why you can't vote.
Well, we've never seen in history that the Supreme Court has been this busy on active cases. We've got the immunity case. We had the case that Jack Smith wanted to skip Trump's right to appeal to the D.C. Circuit. We had the DOJ with the January 6 charges, with the Enron charges. That's up in front of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
We got the student debt issue. That's in front of the Supreme Court. Now you're going to get the border. There's going to be multiple cases on the border. Can Texas defend themselves if the government won't? That's going to be in front of the Supreme Court. Now you got Title IX, what he did to Title IX last week. Women are going to be suing for that. Who is stressing out? Who's pushing the envelope of all these constitutional issues, Supreme Court? It's the Democratic Party. And we've went through the Democratic Party's history. It's a diabolical party. It's an evil party that will stop at nothing to regain and hold on to power and money.
Listen, Peter, I want to take you back. You know, I always talk about movies. The movie Brubaker, when Robert Redford found and knew where all the dead bodies were and dug them up. Donald Trump knows where all the dead bodies are. The Democrats today cannot afford for him to be in office. And you know that, Eric.
Absolutely. And the biggest thing is we're providing this information and everyone says to me, what can I do about it? What can you do? You got to connect with people. You got to stand unified in solidarity against the machine that's crippling us. You can visit my website, ericsimkin.com, if you want to connect to me, ERICSIMKIN.com.
Peter, close me
Now,
out.
the
We've got
immunity
30
issue is a
seconds or
huge
so.
issue because now you have local DAs that are suing the President of the United States. The President has to have immunity in order to
Yep.
do his job. There's no question about that. Now, I hope the
Preposterous,
Supreme
Peter.
Court comes down right on that. Now,
Yep.
what's the real threat to liberty in our system, or democracy, as they say?
Yeah.
To me, it's the excesses of the progressive left who are
wrap
perverting
up.
our justice system, the corruption and subversion of our institutions. That is the real threat to this country right now.
There you go. Listen, I want to thank Peter Mimo, Eric Simpkin. Thank you for joining me this morning. Hating your country is like hating your parents and still living under their roof. Pack up, get out, and be happy somewhere else. Today is never our yesterday, and make today and tomorrow better and better. To Peter Mimo and Eric Simpkin, thanks for joining me this morning. Billy, on your busy Sunday, grateful to you for spending some time with us. You have been listening to the Barry Sable Show with Friends, Talk Radio, 1210 WPHT. Have a great week, a healthy week, a safe week, and we will see you next weekend. Thanks for always being there. I and my go-to guys appreciate